Well, you just heard from Savannah Mayor Van Johnson giving his weekly address to the media. There were three things he talked about that I would like to cover as I kind of re-cue our show gearing up for the 11 o'clock. There were three things he discussed that I think were certainly notable. Number one, he talked about last week's acid attack in Forsyth Park. He says that the image of the man that SPD has been circulating, of the man in the black hoodie with a Bugs Bunny character on it, at this hour is talking to police. Originally he was called a witness as well as a person of interest. Again, that picture that we've been sharing online for the last week or so now, that man has been talking to police, though we should note he's not been detained. They're not calling him a suspect, but again, a pretty significant development regarding the Forsyth Park acid attack. We should also note that the mayor announced a new initiative called Housing United. He said more details about that will be coming in the next year, but it's a new city-led affordable housing initiative. And finally, did want to touch that the Forsyth Fountain is going to be turned on finally for the first time in months. That'll be happening on Friday. The city's making a bit of a celebration out of it with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Again, that's on Friday after Forsyth Park. The Forsyth Fountain was taken to Alabama over the summer for restoration. And with that, we are going to just roll right into our 11 o'clock show here on WTOC+. First news out of the Low Country that happened overnight. The South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating a fatal crash. The deadly crash happened on Hilton Head Island at 12:55 a.m. A car was driving east on Main Street when it hit a curb, went off the roadway, and hit a tree. Now, the driver was the only person in the car, and that driver did die at the scene. Again, the South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating. Moving now to state news. Tomorrow's scheduled execution of a Georgia man convicted of killing two Cobb County women has now been delayed. In a hearing yesterday, the State Board of Pardons and Paroles decided to suspend Stacey Humphrey's execution after an application for clemency. Humphreys was sentenced to death for killing two Cobb County real estate agents in 2003. Attorneys representing Humphreys filed a motion in Fulton County arguing that two of the five board members have conflicts of interest. The petition requests that the board be stopped from proceeding with the clemency application until the two board members have been replaced. The time frame for the execution of his death warrant is currently between December 17th and December 24th. If that window passes, the state would need to seek a new warrant to carry out the sentence. Well, this is something we've been following for several weeks here on WTOC. A major fight is brewing over how Georgia chooses to power data centers, with a crucial vote coming on Friday. Two incoming Georgia Public Service Commissioners spoke with our sister station. They say they want to stop the PSC from approving a plan to let Georgia Power add 10,000 megawatts to our state's power supply. Most of that would help data centers. However, the incoming commissioners warned that approving the plan could leave regular customers paying billions of dollars in power that the state may not even need.
Our responsibility is not to simply approve projects, but to ask the right questions, to weigh long-term impacts, and to ensure that today's commitments do not become tomorrow's constraints.
Now, Georgia Power promised that if the plan is approved, they would put, quote, downward pressure on power bills in the future. Of course, we will let you know what happens with that vote set to happen on Friday. Well, Georgia lawmakers are rolling out a new way for homeowners to prepare for the next disaster before it hits. A new law set to take effect in weeks will let your family set aside money for storm damage with some major tax breaks attached. State reporter Abby Kasoris explains.
From hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes, disasters are getting more expensive for Georgia homeowners, especially as insurance deductibles climb into the thousands.
Some of our homes that were not insured, and we found out a number of the homes were underinsured. So I would say that part of the populace still continues to recover at a snail's pace.
Under House Bill 511, Georgians can open a catastrophe savings account, kind of like a health savings account, but for your business or home. The money goes in tax deductible and grows tax-free at the state level. It can be used to cover deductible and repair costs after a governor-declared disaster. Georgia State University law professor Samuel Donaldson says the accounts are meant to fill the gaps insurance leaves behind, especially in high-risk areas.
Georgia is one of just a handful of states that allows this. It shows that in our neck of the woods, we're sensitive to the fact that homeowners probably want more coverage than they have.
But critics say the program won't help everyone, especially renters or homeowners without extra money to save. Supporters say the goal is simple: give homeowners a financial cushion before disaster strikes.
And to feel comfortable going with a higher deductible on their homeowners insurance to get that homeowners insurance premium down.
Homeowners have time to plan now since the new law kicks in January 1st. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
In Hollywood, celebrities and fans alike are mourning Rob Reiner as authorities continue to investigate the death of the Hollywood director and his wife. Police have arrested his son for allegedly stabbing his parents at their LA home. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has the latest in the investigation.
At Rob Reiner's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, fans left flowers Monday to honor a man at the center of American entertainment for decades.
I think Rob Reiner was a fantastic, talented storyteller and actor, and moreover, he was just a really, really kind, decent human being.
Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead Sunday, stabbed multiple times in their home in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Their bodies were discovered by their daughter, who called 911. LAPD arrested Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick.
Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case. He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail.
Bail has since been revoked, and Nick Reiner is being held at this correctional facility. He has a history of substance abuse problems and stints in rehab, but appeared often with his dad, including recently at the September premiere of Spinal Tap 2. Reiner, who was known for his political activism, was also remembered in Washington.
Our prayers go out to the Reiner family, the survivors, and everybody who's affected by this.
But President Trump has drawn criticism for what he said after the news.
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned.
I think President Trump should have said nothing.
Former Presidents Obama and Clinton were among those who paid tribute to Reiner, with Clinton writing Reiner inspired and uplifted millions. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, it is the busiest week of the year for the United States Postal Service. This week is your last chance to get those holiday gifts and greeting cards in the mail just in time for Christmas. The Postal Service has been preparing for the holiday peak season, which is the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. It takes all year to get ready for this. Representatives say they've been making preparations in anticipation of that holiday rush. Now, this year, the USPS has installed 94 new package sorters to increase daily processing capacity. The institution has also been focused on developing a more stable workforce on both full-time employees, as well as bringing in about 14,000 seasonal employees to help handle the extra holiday volume. Now, here are the holiday shipping dates for USPS users to keep in mind. For Ground Advantage and First Class Mail, you should have your gifts and cards in the mail by tomorrow, December 17th. Thursday is the recommended date for Priority Mail, and the final day to be aware of is Saturday, the 20th. That's for Priority Mail Express. And in some locations, mail carriers can deliver Priority Mail Express for an additional fee on Christmas Day. Though we should note, post office locations will be closed on Christmas and New Year's Day, with services resuming the day after the holiday. All right, we'll take a look at this. Thousands filled Enmarket Arena last night for the Feed the Hungry Christmas dinner. This marks the 17th year for the event, organized by Feed the Hungry and Representative Carl Gilliard. More than 2,000 pounds of turkey were served, while volunteers also provided groceries, clothing, haircuts, and more to families in need. Now, this year was extra special as the organization celebrated a milestone: 2 million meals served.
Feed the Hungry is a rainbow of fraternities, sororities, churches, organizations that we can come together for the greater good of feeding the working poor. We started with 2 pieces of bread and 1 piece of bologna. To be here and to be successful in one thing, bringing people together and serving hope on a plate.
Representative Gilliard says the event is a true blessing and a chance to give back and share hope, just as others once did for him. All right, and finally, Merriam-Webster's word of the year might not be one you know, but it's probably one you've at least seen scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. Joshua Skinner with our sister station in Atlanta has the story on slop and how it's seeping into everyday life. Take a look.
If you aren't a Gen Z debutante, you likely don't know the new definition of slop. So I tried my hand at Georgia Tech's Midtown campus to learn more about the word. Let's consult the dictionary. Slop, noun, digital content of low quality that is produced usually in quantity by means of artificial intelligence. After getting a wow from the cashier for purchasing a real dictionary, I plied my craft in an inefficacious manner, seeing as how Georgia Tech is on holiday break. Howdy, could I interest y'all in talking about the dictionary word of the year for Atlanta News First? No? Okay. So here's the thing. Slop are AI-generated images and videos made quickly, cheaply, and don't make sense that often make a home on social media sites like TikTok and Instagram. I made these on Canva, a social media editing site, in less than 20 seconds. Slop beat out gerrymander for word of the year, so while my story is not turning into something ornate,
marked by elaborate rhetoric or florid style,
I did eventually find a willing Gen Z interview who doesn't have the best opinion of this kind of thing.
I think it's kind of dangerous. Put words in people's mouths.
A pejorative, to say the least. In Midtown, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News First.
All right, and with that, we are going to wrap things up here for the news on WTOC Plus. We appreciate you spending part of your Tuesday morning with us. We'll be back at the top of the hour for another round of stories during the news at noon. And in the meantime, you can always head on over to our website to catch the latest updates at WTOC.com. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and here's Local News Live.